Hi Neeraj.
Hi,
Good morning.
good morning. Yeah,
Yeah, and thank you for
no
joining the
noise.
class.
So, should we start or wait for some time?
No, we'll start because then again we
Just
have a class after this. So
okay, okay. Can you make me a presenter?
yeah,
Because
sure. I'll do.
uh,
I'll do it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Can you check now?
yeah. Just a second. Yeah, I can do it. Just maybe sharing screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So, guys, can you all see my screen? Hello.
I can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yes,
can.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, great. So I guess what you're doing here in the fourth sem as of now is you are getting bits and pieces of what the steel structure is and getting the basic idea. Okay, so again, further to that, we are going to see today how the foundation in steel material happens and foundation for steel columns generally that happens. Okay, so I'll make it to full screen just a second. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So generally, when the foundation itself, if we are going to create it in steel, then this kind of foundation is seen. We don't use it much. It's steel grillage foundation. Generally, grillage foundation has types. It may be of timber or it may be of steel. Earlier, I mean, in previously when the RCC was not available, then the timber of grillage foundation was also found. But steel also we don't use it much because it has its limitations. So it consists of steel joints or beams, as you can see in the image, which are provided in single or double tiers. Single, double, here it's three tiers of steel joints. Its name defines its function basically. The structure as it is made up of steel beams or structurally known as I've told you, these are known as rolled steel joints. Okay. A minimum cover of 10 centimeter is kept. Okay. After creating this, we cover it up with concrete because this material steel is not that much good with the humidity. So the depth of so we the process how we do it, we first level the base and pour the concrete. We level it. First of all we compact the earth below it. Then we pour PCC to create a concrete pad and level it. Then we create at least 150 mm. I mean, basically we create at least 150 mm ka PCC concrete padding for it. Basically, it stops the groundwater coming up to the foundation, which can lead to corrosion. Then we lay first layer of beams, okay, over the concrete bed at a distance of maybe 100 to 300 mm center to center. Then there is a pipe separator. I don't think you can see it in this image. I'll try to find one better one. But anyway, there is a pipe separator which goes across these beams, okay, which holds these beams together. Also, it separate. I mean, at regular intervals, it we can stop the movement of beam, so they can stay at their place and doesn't move. Okay. Then we pour concrete on between these and around it, or around the first tier, so that it can get protection. Then we lay second layer and again do the same thing. We lay it at right angle and we lay the concrete over it and around it. Uh, then by doing so, we connect steel stanchions to the upper tier with the help of base plate. Okay. So when the top layer is in place, then we connect it with the base plate, and then that base plate is connected with the column. Okay. So these connecting elements are also embedded in concrete to make a rigid joint. Okay. These assembly also is then covered with the concrete. Okay. There are few advantages. So first we'll go through them, then I'll tell you. So first of all, it's the installation process easy and fast compared to RCC, the time which it takes to create. Okay, the steel used in steel grillage foundation can be reused several times, making it environment friendly. Of course, it won't be reusable for the foundation again, but the steel itself can be used later for some other purposes. Okay. The technology and material used in installation and manufacturing are simple and readily available, those sections. Okay. Uh, of course, and the customization can happen according to project requirement, according to size and different application. Uh, it assists in reducing the vibration of the house near, if it's near highway or railway line. Okay, it's not rigid, so that's why some flexibility reduces the vibration which comes to the building. Uh, yeah, so that's it's suitable for low soil bearing capacity as well. Okay, and the foundation reduces the heat evoke of the home. Okay, the heat which it can transfer, that can be reduced. Now it can be advantage, it can be a disadvantage. Then the disadvantages are that it requires protection from corrosion. Okay, uh, because steel is very prone to humidity and it may lead to corrode, and we can't use stainless steel. This is all MS, mild steel, structural steel. Okay, so that we have to protect it from them. And for greater depth, this construction may need piles for the foundation. Okay, and of course this is not suitable for multi-story building, because it if we use it for multi-story building, it can be very expensive. And actually practically in our scenario it is very expensive, because it might save time, but still the material itself and the labor required, it requires skill labor. And what we have generally here right now working for us, they are very much handy with the RCC work. So that's why it's not as advisable for us, this steel grillage foundation. Okay. So there are, see, in general, there are, if you see steel frame structure, construction of it has four procedures. Okay. First one is construction of steel frame structure foundation, then steel and column construction over the foundation, then erection of steel beams connecting to the columns, and then the floor systems which are used in steel frame construction. Okay. So since we are looking for the foundation, I have two reference videos which we'll see in some time. So generally the types of foundation required for the given structure is based on soil bearing capacity, as we all know. Okay, so soil investigation, including surface and subsurface exploration, is used to assess the condition of soil on which steel frame structure is rests. Okay, so we create test pits, we take the soil sample, we analyze the minerals and water and humidity and everything, and then we decide. So for example, when moderate to low loads are imposed, then it is advisable to use RCC bearing pad or strip foundation. Okay, and what that is, we'll see in this first video. And this foundation types transfer load to soil capable of supporting transferred loads. Okay, let me just open the link. But again, I have to reshare the screen. Just a second.
You can post the link on chat also, Neeraj.
Acha, yeah, that's sure.
Because then वो lag नहीं होगा.
Video
Everyone
might
can
lag.
watch it. Yeah.
Okay. Just a second.
primarily where modular goes to sketching and everything, you get less marks. But like your hand sketch, you get less marks. But this time, you have to go hand sketching and more
That's the first link. Okay.
You want us to watch it right now, Neeraj?
I'll play it. Lag hua to
You
lag hua.
play
It's fine. We can check it later.
it?
But with
Okay.
that, we can maybe.
Yeah.
So
Play it. Play.
just a second. Yeah, guys, I hope you can see the screen.
Yeah. Is there a sound with it,
No, no,
Neeraj?
no, I
Okay.
have kept it mute. It's okay because it might lag. Okay, so here, as you can see, below the steel structure, there is a pit. I mean, the excavation pit, generally, there we provide here it is not shown. We provide concrete pad below. Over it, we kind of temporarily hang this anchor bolts. Then we concretize it. We take it up. See, as I said, the steel structure, I mean, steel foundation is not generally used. We use concrete foundation, RCC foundation. We take it above the ground and then we connect steel columns to it. Okay. So here, if you can see, there are 4 anchor bolts. There is a concrete pedestal, and then these small steel plates are used to level properly exact height, how much it is required from all sides. It shouldn't be tilted or something. Then the steel column with the base plate is rested over these bolts. Then we bolt it. Okay, we make it rigid. Then we pour grouting. See if you can see the space between that base plate and concrete uh, pedestal. We fill it up with grouting. It basically makes it a solid. Was there a lag, guys? I didn't get. If some of you can
Not
reply.
really. Not really.
Not really. No? Okay, great. Okay. So this is how the shallow foundation for this happens. And if we Acha, grouting basically is the filler material. Grouting in general terms, it is used whenever we, fill up gaps or joints. Okay, it may be also used for the tiles which we lay on in our houses, or in conditions like this, like since there was a space and we had to cover it up. Okay, we have to cover it up. So that's a liquid which becomes solid after a time. Okay. So again, the material for grouting can differ based on application. Here, the grouting which we use for our houses for tiles, it's basically cement. But for this kind of construction, they are complex chemicals which hardens after it solidifies. Okay. So okay, so here again, we are creating a pit. So depending on the hard strata which we might get, we either insert pile, as you can see in the image, we insert steel pile and then create concrete padding at the top. You must see, this is how we hammer it down, steel piles, okay? You know about concrete piles, I guess, in previous year, but this is steel pile. Again, the procedure is same on the concrete padding. We then grout it, we bolt it, and then it's ready. So if it is going to be a shallow foundation, then just this could be the condition. Okay. But if it is a deep foundation, then the piles needs to be inserted, as you saw in the previous video. It's just a very basic animation video. See, here you can see properly. This is the steel pile. That again, we don't prefer steel piles because it can corrode. But steel piles, then there are 4 anchor bolts. Then we concretize it. And this on railway stations, you all must have seen this. Okay. That the bolts are taken out of the ground. Generally, even the bolting that happens, we don't let it go below the ground level. Okay, we take it a bit above, and then on railway stations, if you must have seen, they create sitting around it by creating one more concrete padding over it. Okay. So yeah, that's the basic. See, this is the actual site image. If you can see, uh, just a second. Yeah. So here, as you can see, the concrete foundation has been created, and above that, here there are 4 bolts, 4 or 8, or how many it may be as required. See, this is how we construct it a bit above the ground and not below, so that the joinery and everything is not connected to the soil, which may or may not receive water or humidity, and we can save it from it. So this space is then, this is again, the gap is large as of now, but then we grout it and we fill it up. Okay, so it becomes a solid. Yeah. So the most common type of foundation for steel frame structure are pad foundation. Basically, this what you see in the middle image. With these, a concrete foundation is sited under each steel column. Bolts are positioned in the wet concrete to anchor the building by ensuring that adequate groundworks are carried out. Okay, to save the time and cost. So yeah, this yellow thing or a light orange thing which you see is grouting, basically the bedding space. Okay, steel packaging. This is used for the leveling, as you saw those plates which we kept. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions regarding this about foundation for steel structure or steel foundation? It's very basic, and from the top I took it, so we didn't go pretty much into the deep. So if you don't have any questions, I have few further things which I want to discuss with you. Do you have any questions?
I
Yeah,
had
Shravan.
So,
Yeah.
Neeraj, when we are talking about the steel foundations, if they're
Uh,
not suitable for multi-story buildings, and for our projects, it might be too much of
Grillage
steel to use.
foundation is the grillage foundation, which that is not suitable for multi-story building. But concrete foundation, that's what we use generally. See,
Uh,
for steel structure, there are. I mean, again, the for steel structure, generally we prefer this pad foundation or basically RCC foundation. It can be combined, it can be isolated, it can be stripped, anything, but RCC foundation. Then it can go multi-story.
and
Okay.
drilling foundation, where do we use generally?
Grillage, generally we don't use it. I don't think I have seen anywhere. I mean, I mean, I've been working since 5 years only, but still, I don't think I have seen anyone using the grillage foundation. It's just there. I mean, so
I think larger,
Mamta,
like taller structures, they use grillage foundation, like skyscrapers. So I think the World Trade Center, they had grillage foundation, and that was that central core which actually burned down and caused the collapse of the structure. So
yeah.
yeah, I think those are for really tall skyscrapers. There are some other questions also.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do we have any plinth beams? Yeah. See, plinth beams, basically, if you once you of course plinth beams are required for a structure. Once you take it out, once you if this is just the small pedestal you can see, but when we go for 1.8 or 1.5 meter ka foundation below the ground, then the plinth beam we can extend this stub columns a bit till the, what we say, till the plinth. We can extend it till the plinth, and at the plinth level we can provide plinth beams and ground beams. Okay. Then another material, what is the material used for bedding space? As of now, you just keep in mind it's grouting material, epoxy, some kind of epoxy material. uh, I won't be able to tell you the exact chemical or how what it is. Okay. Acha. Do we also bolt the beams together in grillage foundation before pouring RCC? Though we don't bolt it. Basically, there is a spacer bar which holds all the beams together. Okay, and from the two ends, we then hold it. Okay. Grouting is done in steel foundation. Grouting is done for the steel columns which are connected to the RCC foundation. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a pad foundation. The steel rests on that concrete pad. Okay, and then that's where the base plate comes and the anchor bolts come to sort of lock it in, to fix it.
We bolt it, we use this material to fix it, and then it's permanent. Does length of the bolt also vary? Yeah, it does. But again, not the part. I mean, it's not, it won't be our concern as far as we know the, like, how much exact length is going to be. That's not an, I think not the thing which we generally focus, but yeah, length can be different. Grouting is done in all steel foundation, right? Achha, that we answered. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that it, guys? Okay. Now I just have few random slides based on the questions I've been getting for your IDS project about the steel members and steel structural elements. So I'm just going to go through few of them. I was not able to make more slides, but acha, one of the first thing which is there is, see, the truss, when we say ki we are using steel roof or steel trusses, then it's not just always pitched, the triangular truss in steel. Okay, it can be any of these, and also there are more customized trusses as well. If the project is huge and there are multiple modules of them, then the truss can also be created. They can be built with the existing sections which we have. Okay, so here, as you can see, there are a few images just I have kept. So mostly for structure extending till what we say, generally what we use for our structures or on large spans, maybe halls or maybe railway stations, we use Warren or Pratt truss, which are parallel chord trusses. Okay, they are parallel, they are not triangular, or they don't have. So these parallel trusses we use generally till the span of 35 to 40 meters, I guess. Okay, they are very thin. Okay, you don't have to every time create a triangular truss. Like, that's not the limitation, you can do anything. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Then okay, then composite floor slab. Many of you are asking how the what we say, how the slab is constructed, steel slab is constructed in steel structures. Okay, so that again is a small video. I'll be playing it. Just give me a second. Oh, acha, I have to share the screen again. Just a second. So as first I'll explain you the section which is here. Okay, so as you can see, there are primary eye sections, eye girders, and there are secondary eye girders. Okay,
Neeraj,
so
you are
primary.
not sharing your screen like
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as you can see in the section, there are primary eye girders and there are secondary. These are secondary eye girders. Okay, eye beams. So on the secondary I beam, see, the span may be large for steel structures. Okay, but the roofing sheet or metal decking, which we say, these sheets we can't extend it so much. Okay, so that's why we again provide secondary beam on which we provide this metal decking sheets. Okay, so metal decking sheets, after we provide, here in the section, as you can see, this is the primary eye section. These are secondary on which it has been placed between this gap, and then it has been concretized, and if required we also provide reinforcement. this magenta color, if you can see horizontal magenta color. So we provide also provide reinforcement if required. Okay, these corrugated sheets, we have the specific gauge or specific thickness of it has is decided, and that we use it for decking, and it's just corrugated steel sheet. Okay, but it's not like what we use it for our temporary shading. Okay, it's expensive, it's better, it is yeah. Okay, so as you can see in the video, okay, this beam, over that we provide metal decking. Then we you can see the video, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So as you can see, it is bolted with the I section below, so it's fixed at intervals. See, as the span might be large, then here again we might give one more I beam, and over that we again fix it. Okay. Then we provide reinforcement if required. It generally does, basic at least. And then we cover it up with concrete. And that's how these slabs are created. Okay. So that's basically metal decking. Generally, yeah. Okay. So that's how this composite floor slab works. Okay, someone is asking question. Does the depth of foundation vary if comparing RCC foundation and steel foundation, like for tender? Yeah, it will vary according to the material. It will vary. Again, the depth of foundation may depend on few other aspects as well. But if we compare RCC foundation and steel foundation, yeah, it does vary. Okay.
So is it like
Okay.
steel foundation requires like less depth or like less depth or
Steel requires less depth because its capacity to bear the soil pressure is better. I mean, it's this area.
okay.
Okay, so it does. Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is about the composite. See, we don't call it as steel slabs because we are using concrete RCC. I mean, concrete and steel decking. So it's composite floor slab. Okay. Uh, and the last thing I want to tell you, this might be important for all of you for your IDS project. See, when we, this is for the structural steel member. Okay, these are thumb rules which can be used. Okay, for sizes, just to give you an idea, so that you can, you know, imagine in your mind, visualize in your mind ki how the sizes of these members will differ, or how you can decide it. Okay. So generally for beams, it is spanned by 20 or 25. Okay. So if you have a 5 meter or 10 meter ka span, so 10 meter divided by 20. So it is coming around 500. Okay. 500 depth, the depth of beam. Okay. So till 20 meters, this formula you can use. Okay. Beyond 20 meter, we don't use beams, but we go for trusses. Okay, it may be parallel cord or, you know, a space frame for huge structures also. So for trusses, generally it is span by 12, and it ranges from 10 to 80 meter span. Okay, it truss, we can use it for 10 to 80 meter span. Okay, these are standards. These are not what we say, these are not customized or designed. Okay. So these are standards. Generally, what we use for newer construction is that we for each, like if it is multi-story building, we design each component and get it manufactured according to our requirement. Okay, this is not for that. This is just general rules, thumb rules, which you can use for your structure as of now. Okay, so for trusses, it is span by 12. For space frame, it can be span by 12 to 20. Okay, it depends on the design of your what we say, module in space frame. Space frame is basically combination of trusses in 3D format. Okay, in 3 direction. Vertically also it goes, and in X and Y direction also it is created. So it spans from 25 to 80 meters. Here structural depth, increases, but the material is very light. It is with the, of course, it's expensive to manufacture rather than trusses, but uh, it can span from 25 to 80 meters. Then for slabs, for metal decking, okay. So for 3 meter span, if your what we say area which is getting formed, it is 3 meter, then the depth of the corrugated sheet which we saw metal decking is 2 inch deep. Okay, over it we pour 2 to 3 inch PCC or RCC with reinforcement. Okay, then if the span is 5 meter, then the corrugated sheet which we use, the depth of it will be 3 inch plus 2 to 3 inch of PCC. Guys, I hope you all are understanding what I'm saying. Otherwise, interrupt me. I don't mind. You can ask me. Okay. For columns, if we take 150 by 150 column, it can support around 70 to 80 square meters. Okay. So basically, if you have 8 by 8 or 9 by 9, by like just placing one column, okay, you can it can support about 70 to 80 square meter of area. Okay. So if we, yeah, hello. Okay.
Yeah,
So
Neeraj,
if
carry
we,
on.
yeah, okay. So if we take 230 by 230 or 250 by 250, it can support 300 square meter. Okay. If we take 300 by 300, it can support 550 square meter. Okay. So basically, these are the column sizes. Just for your reference, see, these all are standards. अभी 3 meter span लिखा है, मतलब 3.1 आया तो क्या करूँ, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. These are just thumb rules. As of now, it works. If it is 3.1, 3.5, we can use the same, what we say, same standard. If it is 5.5 or 4.5, we can use this standard. It's fine. Okay. It's okay. And also, it is important कि after in case of composite floor slab, just sorry, can you unmute and ask, because it's difficult for me to read in the
Yeah.
chat while I'm sharing screen. Yeah.
So I was asking, in the case of composite floor slabs like what you showed previously,
Huh.
can we follow the same procedure on the ground floor too, or would it be different?
No, ground floor we don't require metal decking, right? It's a plinth. We fill it up, na? We fill it up with dry rubble. We compact it,
So it's the
compact the
same thing
soil.
for concrete. Like it won't be
Yeah,
any.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we are not using reinforcement anyways for ground floor slab. And
Yeah.
also, second thing, even if we are using the steel structures and steel members for ground floor, it is recommended that you use PCC and RCC. Whatever is
Okay.
coming in contact with your.
Hmm. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, someone else also asked a question. I don't know who.
Yeah, do you want
Anyway,
me to read it out, Neeraj?
yeah, actually, I'm not able to see the chats while sharing the screen. So,
For steel trusses in an L-shaped layout, is the truss joinery at the ridge similar to that of a timber truss?
in L-shaped layout, yeah, see, the configuration might be same, but the connections is way different than the timber. Okay. See, generally, if you even imagine, see, on timber, generally we have, if we are creating multi what we say, double floor or triple floor slab. I hope you all know what double floor slab and triple floor slabs are. Okay. Double is where you have primary beam and secondary beam. Triple, you have primary, secondary, and tertiary beams. Okay. So to create to lessen the span, as we for the decking generally. Okay. So there in wooden structure, in timber construction, we have to create those layers, and that depth is large. Okay. Because we don't insert in each other, we place it above and we create joinery for timber. Here you can divide the steel members and you can make connections in between. Like if you see in this image, here see the for the secondary beams, they are not placed over the primary beam. They are within that and supporting it. So the depth, the total depth may decrease with steel for your slab. Okay. So the configuration might be same, but the joinery changes. Okay. Is the truss joinery at the ridge similar to that of Acha, for the ridge you are saying. Okay. It remains same, but there we have customized what we say. The truss remains same because here we don't have to worry about the connection. We can weld it and make the airtight joint at the top here. So this whole truss is created as a single unit. But again, if we want kind of a clear story or ventilation from above, then we have to customize this section. So basically, at the top for the smaller kind of construction, it's just welded and connected together. This whole assembly. Okay. So in terms of connection, it might differ from paper. Others, it's same. In yeah. So Acha. So anyone else have any question?
Yeah,
Uh,
Neeraj, I had a doubt. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Is
no,
anyone?
go.
Thank you. So like this formula for trusses, it can be used for like trusses that span around 6 meter, like king post truss or something. Or
What
should we
was
not
sorry? Your
use
voice is hello. There's a disturbance. Yeah. For 6 meter what?
like can this formula be used for trusses that span less than 10, like 6 meter, 5 meter spanning, or should we not use truss only in such short span?
In such condition, you shouldn't use truss. I mean, you don't require unless you require it for the your structural form of it.
Hmm.
Okay, for if you want that design and that kind of a structure, then it's fine. But structurally, the truss is not required for that condition. And even if it is, then we don't use this kind of truss. What we do, I'll just share my whiteboard. Sorry. Again. Uh, okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, for that kind of thing, we don't use truss this way. Okay. What we do is we generally connect members like this, sleeker members, parallel cord truss, which we saw, that we connect this way. Okay. And then we connect these two members at the center. This is and we then connect it to the columns. Now I won't be able to show you the detail here, but anyway. So this is how we do it. We don't have to, connect the we don't have to use the bracing for it. For 6 meters, I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Even the steel joist would suffice, but if you want to give that, okay, someone is not able to see the screen.
I can't see anything on the. I can see the whiteboard, but I can't see any drawing on it.
Oh,
But I
acha.
could see the drawing.
Even
Acha,
I
you
could.
could. Okay,
Oh,
great.
it's okay. So maybe it's about internet
Maybe
connection.
in the recording ये आ जाएगा, तो I
हाँ.
hope everyone can see it. So
नहीं
basically,
नीरज, वाइट बोर्ड विल नॉट बी रिकॉर्डेड. मेरे को यहाँ पे डिस्क्लेमर आया था कि white board will not be recorded, though you can open the app and watch it
yeah, I'll
anytime
open
later.
the app and rather than using here, I'll open the app. Yeah.
But we can move the whiteboard on our screens.
Yeah, मतलब वो if we open the app तो हम लोगों को ऐप में दिख जाएगा वो बाद में भी.
अच्छा, okay. I
हाँ.
hope it does. Otherwise, I can share.
मैं screenshots ले लेता हूँ या तो चाहिए तो.
Okay. Yeah. That you can do. Okay. That
हाँ.
you because at the moment वापस वो सब देखने जाऊंगा, we'll lose time. Okay. So basically, the first thing and the second thing, you can take the screenshot now. This is for smaller span. This is not required. Okay. For smaller span, option 1 is not required. You can go with the option 2 by using the truss to the minimal and rather than using so much material. Okay, that's set for it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
But
Yeah.
I read like for king post and all 6 to 9 meter is fine. So that also we can't
Here
use.
in steel, it is not it is not required. So why to use so much of steel?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also to since you can see the screen, why to waste this space,
Yeah.
the space above by giving a bracing, giving a tie to that truss. Why to you? I mean, you can get higher floor space, na, without that. So that's why. Okay.
Yeah. So we can use normal supports also, like those three
Yeah,
supports that
regular
we use.
I-beam also you can use. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
what
Thank you.
we seen here. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically all the thumb rules. Follow these to get all your sizes right for the structure. Acha, also one last thing. I'll also show you steel table. Just a second.
Neeraj, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you explain the column size again? I mean, what do you exactly mean it can span for 300
Acha,
square
acha, acha, acha.
meters like that?
Okay,
I mean,
I'll explain.
okay.
So, okay, I'll again share the screen. Just a second. 350. Okay. I hope this whiteboard you can see. I'm using the app in my tab. So yeah. So when I say that the 230 by 230 ka column can support 300 square meter, okay. So basically, if this area is of 300 square meter, can someone tell me square root for it? 300 ka 14. Just a second.
It's
Okay,
17.
17. Let's say 17. Okay, 17 by 17. If this is the span, okay, I mean, not the span, sorry. So, just a second, just a second, just a second. Okay, so let's say you have ground plus ground floor plus was first floor slab and second floor slab. Okay, if this is the condition. Okay, and you have column which is supporting. यहाँ पे एक story column आएगा. Okay, which is again connected to the bottom to the foundation. Okay. So this column, this is foundation. Okay. So let's say this area is 12, 12, 12, 12. Okay, 12 by 12 का slab है. Okay. So this area is 144 square meter. This area can also be 144 square meter. Okay, so total is going around 280, 290, 300. Okay, so as I said, ki 230 by 230 column can carry 300 square meter of load. So basically, this is what it is. This is how you can imagine your sizes to be. So basically, this single column can support itna floors ka load.
Okay, so
I hope you got it. This is
yeah,
just to give you an imagination of about the strength of steel column. Okay. So,
okay,
so this one, if you are going 3-story, okay. If you are going 3-story and there is one more slab, okay. So you can take 100, 100, 100. So basically 10 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 10. Uh,
yeah,
since so 300 in total, basically around 300. Again, don't stick to the number, just understand ki how much it can span. Ki from column it can span 6 meter yahan pe, 6 meter yahan pe. So if you have 4 columns, you can maybe span 15 by 15 meter easily by 4 columns of that same size. It's just visualizing your structure. I mean, generally for column, that's why we don't generally give thumb rules, because it's difficult to imagine. But basically, this is what it is. So if you have a multi-story like 4 or 5 story, you can go with 300 by 300 ka column. If you have ground plus 1 or 2, you can go by 230 230, yeah, 240 240, basically that. And again, this area which I am saying, don't draw this kind of column, okay? Don't draw as a rectangle column. That's why I'll be showing you steel table ki what kind of compression members we have. So you should refer those. Just let me open that file.
Hi Neeraj, I had a question.
Yeah.
So if you're working with an accessible roof that has a flat steel truss, so in that case, the load is more than just the roofing material. So does that change the structure in which you have to kind of consider the truss as well?
See, yeah, it does. But again, if you are going to use it for maintenance work, yeah, vaisa work, then it's fine not to consider it. Like if even, see, if it is just, if we are designing it just for the wind load and everything, wind load and, self load of the roof itself, still it can easily take 50 people at a time on your roof and nothing will happen structurally. Okay. So for that it's fine, but if you're going to use it like ऊपर भी classroom होगा या ऊपर office होगी या ऊपर machine होंगे या वो, then the truss configuration will change. And I'm sure you won't be using sloping truss or triangular truss for it because you want to use the top space. So if you're using it as a terrace or as a maintenance work या कुछ cleaning करने के लिए या वो सब, that's fine. That if you don't consider, it's fine.
But like if it's a fully accessible roof, like it's in my case, I have like an amphitheater on the roof. So in that case, how will it kind of change in the configuration? So what changes will you have to make in the truss?
Then you have to consider it as a slab, as a usable floor decking slab, and you have to make it flat. I mean, that way you have. Acha, so the sloping roof itself, pitched roof itself, you are going to use it as a what we say.
Actually, a stepped roof. So I'm actually using the riser of each step as a truss. If you get what I mean.
Riser of each step as a truss. No, maybe I don't. No, I didn't get it.
Okay, so basically it's like a stepped roof made out of trusses.
Okay. But again, stepped roof made out of trusses, those steps won't do much for your structure. Basically, what we need for structure is to create that, for truss, is that we need to create that triangular shape to, make it rigid and make it act as a truss. So if you're going to make, like I have to see what you have made exactly. Because
so which means she needs members in the opposite direction as well. Along the riser is one, but under that then she's going to need these triangular members. Truss members under it to take that.
Basically, your structural depth won't include that riser wala area. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
So each like riser can each even parallel to the riser, if she has these members, she still needs the truss in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the last thing which I want to show you. So this book has all the standard sizes of all the members. It also have all types of configuration, all types of shapes, all types of loads. So here, if you can see, rolled steel, equal angles, C channels, then beams. Then again, it gives the information, see, girders, columns, whatever you want to use. I'll just take you to one of the slide, one of the picture, let's say. Okay, so basically these are just regular angles. You might have seen this for the temporary work around you somewhere. For me, it may be of roof or anything. So here they give all the details in steel table. It gives the thickness, all the standards. So when you say ISA 2020, okay, so ISA 2020 means this A dimension and B dimensions are 20. So this, the left hand side, it gives you this letters gives you the awares you about the shape of it, like Indian standard angle, and right side में जो भी digits होते हैं, that's the dimension. Okay, so for all the different dimensions, and here it's thickness. Okay, so all the tabs will have its different properties mentioned with it. Okay, so maybe weight per meter, 1 meter ये section का weight कितना होता है, center of gravity, all these will be used for your third year numericals and everything. So अभी इतना load लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, but at least it would be better if you use sections based on the sizes, like use this standard. Like you can't take 22 by 22 mm ka angle or something like that. You have to use these sections. Okay. So again, these again equal. This is unequal angles. Then these are angle sections. Then these are T sections. See if you can see. So here again the sizes will be mentioned. Everything, all the details will be mentioned. So at least what we are expecting is not to use any size you want. So for example, even when I said कि 150 by 150 का column, that doesn't mean कि पूरा block MS का वो column solid column रहेगा. Basically a configuration of column which fits in that size. So you have to, when there is a column tab also. These are beams. So when we are saying कि structural depth 500 या 400 या 200 का beam you have to take. So you have to see here कि वो depth के कौन सा beam है, and accordingly you use it. That standard size. I mean, it's better if you show these standards, and it's better if you go through, you understand these standard sizes. Okay, these are again rolled steel channels, C channels. Okay. Again, when we, sometimes we don't get the appropriate sizes as per our design. So what we do is we combine 2 or 3 members and we use it as a single member. So here they have, 2 equal angles back to back they have attached, and their properties will differ. So how will it differ and what? So every time we don't have to calculate and go through everything, how much load it can take and what will be the strength of it and all those things. We don't have to calculate. We just have to refer this steel table. So here again, equal angle. There are various configurations by which it can work. So that's the whole thing. Okay, here we have what will happen if I section is used with the additional plates on the sides. If you want the cross section of steel to be more, then this configuration can be used. So basically that's all what it is in a steel table. I'm just trying to see where the column sizes are. Yeah, so for example, see, these are columns. So single joist with additional plates on both flange. Okay, this column. So basically, if you see here, ISHB 150. Okay, so basically, where is the dimensions? Yeah, here you can see the width 250, 250, 250. Okay, 320, 400. So I'm just saying use this configuration and use this size then. So it's better. It would be more practical, your design would be. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. Yeah, Mamta. So
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Neeraj. That was wonderful. Because I think now they've reached the resolution stage in their IDS, and this was much required for them.
Yeah.
So a lot of their concepts must have got cleared. So that was very good. Any other questions? Anyone? Something's on the chat.
Yeah. What is the
What is
connection
this
called? The
connection?
connect suspended pathway to the bottom of the beam. This is suspended connection, I guess. It is suspended via cables, right? It's hanging from top.
Yes.
Yeah, it's suspended pathway to. So suspended connection. This is the connection. See, by the typology, I don't think we have. There might be, but generally, how we can differ the connection is previously, as Mamta must have taken the lecture from moment and rigid connection. That way, we can differentiate, or by the type of it. So basically, this is in Broadway. This is suspended connection. So nothing more than that, because here cables are connected to the beams for the pathway or the girders for the pathway. That's how it might be connected. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I wanted to know how that cable is connected to the truss. Like, what is the fixed end connection? The names I found online were a perpendicular socket connection, but I didn't know if
So
that's
the detail of it might vary from project to project, from engineer to engineer, or based on that. But basic idea is that steel cable, they have anchors. Basically, what they do for the suspended bridges also. If you, I mean, either you see metro bridge in Andheri, which is going from the Western Express Highway, or Bandra Worli ceiling. It's at very large scale. So there you might see a large concrete drum kind of a thing which are embedded in the bridge girders. So that is at very large scale, but basically you anchor those both things, like those anchor those cables into that anchor. That's what it's called, and anchor it again to the may it be steel or may it be concrete. There you fix it, and now the details of it might differ and the names might differ, but those are suspended connections for cables. In Broadway, that's how you can mention and you can refer. Yeah. Okay. Are there any more questions?
Can you please send the book, the Birla book on the chat?
Acha, that steel table. Okay. But
Yeah.
guys, don't go too much into it. But yeah, choose the sections from that book only. And in free time, of course, you can refer it. It's a nice book. Anyway, yeah, I'll post it in the construction ka. I'll post it in the chat only. I hope you can download from there.
Yeah, if you post it there, I'll put it up in the files on Teams.
Okay.
Neeraj, I'll just kind of sketch mine out. I'm sending it on the chat so that I can like ask you with the sketch. Otherwise, it will be a bit. Just loading the message. Yeah, I've sent a sketch in the chat. Will you be able to open it or?
Yeah, I can see.
So I've got like this 10-meter roof span. It's a sloping roof, and I'm supporting it with a truss. And I'll have columns for my walls placed like 2 meters in on one side and 4 meters in on one side. So will I need an I-beam where I've marked A to kind of help support the truss onto the columns, or I can directly the truss if it's the strength of the truss, I can just directly fit the truss onto the column. Yeah, I'll need an I-beam
Truss
between the
configuration is not required for 10 meters, but if you want sloping roof and all, you can use it. But eye girder will also suffice for this span.
So I just want a truss to kind of slope the roof. So uske liye I'm putting the truss in. So do I need a truss and eye girder or just a truss?
No, just the truss. Why to use both?
No need for an eye girder, right? Okay, perfect. And the truss thickness will be roughly how much for like a 10-meter span? Because I saw the truss in section on one side, but it didn't say any thicknesses in one of the books. Tata ka some book I saw in the library which had a 9.4 meter span ka truss, but it wasn't showing.
For span, I told you, how to decide the depth. The thumb rule I gave you, span by 12 or something. So that you can follow.
So that thickness also will be in the same sense, right?
Thickness would be the same. The main thickness would be the same, and then whatever kind of truss you can use. Yeah, that's fine.
Then the depth will follow your thumb rule, which is the thickness perspective.
Yeah, that you can. Okay, so guys,
Neeraj has to leave, I think. So for your individual ideas projects, you can always meet up with him later.
Yeah.
And thanks, Neeraj, for that fantastic lecture.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I have posted the book. It's in chat, I guess.
Okay. We'll take it from there.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, so I think we are now close to your next class also. So we leave our exercise to the next time. Next time I'll be covering steel flooring and decking. So we can look at that in detail. But otherwise, basically what you guys need to remember with steel is that even if you're talking about a regular sloping roof kind of a truss, it's always a built up truss. So you'll have angles that are put together, bolted together or welded together, or have a gusset plate in between that fixes two angles together. You understand? And that's how the truss is going to be created. What you really need to understand is the sizes that Neeraj spoke about. So for a span of so many meters, these are the members or the sizes of the members that you will need to put that truss together. Okay, steel in that sense is quite simple to work with or to understand. And the joinery is mostly using a gusset plate and welding the members together on that plate. Okay, did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so with steel, basically, it's like you can do anything you wish. There's nothing that you can't achieve. Yeah, unless it's like multiple connections coming from various directions. That also you can have a ball joint to receive all those members. So that's also not a difficult job. But since you are not even at that level and you're just at the basic level, joining members with the help of a gusset plate and welding them together is enough, or bolt them. Okay. Any other questions? It gets eerie when no one says anything or no one responds.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So go through it. What I would advise is, since you have some time till the next lecture, take a break, have some hot tea and coffee, and go through his PPT. I'll ask him to upload it. Okay?
Okay. Oh, sorry, I had one question. Actually, just like steel cables, there's this one book with all the resources on like the channels and all.